Today we're going to talk about how painful it can be to keep trying over and over in your relationship and not see any changes. If you are feeling alone and confused in your marriage, you might be wondering, when is enough enough? If you're anything like me, then you want nothing more than your marriage to be fantastic. You want it to be great. You want to feel seen, known, heard, and respected. Today, let's get real with each other. Let's talk about how to know if you are finally ready to make that change in your life. You don't have to do it alone. Let's do it together. For the best advice on how to recover from emotional abuse, betrayal, and divorce, please hit like and subscribe so you can be notified every Sunday when I post a new video. If you want to stop the confusion and finally accomplish the changes that you have been struggling to make, then check out my coaching link in the description below. I will customize a plan for you to get out of this pain so you can be clearly seen, known, heard, and respected. And I will save you years of time in the process. I'm Coach Ketra. I help women find their voice and empowerment during some of life's most challenging times. I have survived emotional abuse, betrayal, and divorce after a 17-year marriage. I have been down this road and you don't have to walk it alone. First, we're going to look at the pain that we feel. When I was in the midst of all the confusion, I was in so much pain. The pain of being rejected, the pain of feeling unlovable. I wondered why I wasn't enough. I wondered what was wrong with me and why was he always blaming me? I knew I wasn't crazy, but sometimes I wondered why I couldn't figure out what was going on. It was almost intolerable pain. The pain of being ignored, manipulated, rejected, and even cheated on. My spouse would withhold any kind of praise or compliment from me. He wouldn't share his feelings, and he would block me when I tried to share mine or criticize me for what I was feeling. All of these things really wound us on a deep level, and it causes us to question our worth to ourselves, to our family, and to the world around us. I felt as if my husband's behavior meant that I had somehow failed my children, my marriage, my family, my church community, and everyone that was connected to my life. And we should be asking ourselves, why do the actions of someone else need to put us in a place of shame? You see, before everything came crashing down, I had spent years building the community around me through ministry in my church. Sometimes I worked outside the home as an escrow closer, sometimes I was a stay-at-home mom, but all of the time I was part of ministry. I was the coordinator of a Mothers of Preschooler program, I coordinated weddings, I was a women's ministries director, and I had been teaching marriage classes and parenting classes and giving everything I had to give to the ministry that I was in at the time and my church community. I believed that I had followed all the rules, that my marriage should be immune to these things, but it wasn't. I had to step down from church leadership because after all, what woman can lead in church without a husband? I was truly in too broken of a place to lead at that time anyway. It all felt unfair, and it was. Next, I want to look at the lies that we believe. When we're in this place of pain, we can end up believing a lot of things that really aren't true. The old saying of "it takes two" kept ringing through my head, and I wondered, what could I have done to make this different? How could I have changed my behavior so that none of this would have happened? As women, we often buy the lie that we are solely responsible for keeping our marriage healthy and strong. I wondered what I was lacking, what I could change that would make me more lovable. I believed that I was unlovable, instead of seeing that my husband did not love himself enough to deal with his own addictions and his bad coping patterns. I thought that if I was just softer and quieter and submitted more that he would love me more. I believed that if I could just fix me, then it would fix our marriage. I often wondered if this is just how all men are. I believed his lies and his excuses, and I couldn't understand why I was so confused. But you can't make sense of craziness. But we keep trying. So many times we keep trying to figure it out, and you can't figure out crazy. Next, I want to look at how we try to fix it. In our desperation, we read marriage books, we go to marriage retreats, and we pray, crying out to God for help. At the time, I didn't fully grasp that God will not force anyone to do anything. They have to be willing to do it on their own before he can enter into the situation. God only enters when someone is willing to humble themselves and receive help and healing. I have spent way too much time going to specialized retreats, therapy sessions, and literally reading hundreds of books on this topic to try to learn it all. And the good part about that is that because I have tried it all, I now know what works and what doesn't. One day, instead of sitting in my car, crying my eyes out, I decided to take my power back. I decided to create change for good in myself, regardless of what my spouse was willing to do or not willing to do. And it has made all the difference. When you're ready to make real change, I would be happy to walk that path with you. I will navigate you around the pitfalls so you can have the most effective, streamlined process of healing possible. Set up your initial discovery call by clicking the coaching link in the description, but only if you are ready for real change. Please be sure to hit like and subscribe and comment below to let me know what you're going through right now. Until next time, curate a life by your own design.